It's okay.
Okay, you guys, welcome to tonight's call. First of all, those who don't know me, my name is Melissa Marston. I am from Saskatchewan, Canada. I'm a naturopath doctor, and I have a passion for Super Patch. This technology has changed my practice and my life on a personal level forever. And we are here to share as loud as we can how incredible this technology is. My one of my passions is behavioral therapy for children with disabilities. I specifically work with little ones with autism. And so we want to do a call tonight a little bit more specific on sensory issues for little ones and even older ones too, and how these patches have been making a difference. So we have a few testimonies to share, and then we're just going to have a little bit of a conversation around what we are beginning to see and what I am seeing even in my practice. So we are going to, Sigal and I are doing this together, and she is going to take off and she's going to share first, and then we will introduce a couple other people to share their stories with their kiddos. So, Sigal, you start. Go ahead.
Okay. Hi, everybody. It is nice to meet our newbies and hi to everybody that we know. So my name is Sigal, and I am here with my son, who I'm going to introduce. Um, Let me just mute some people here. There you go. Thank you, Melissa. I think you did that, right? Okay. So I'm actually going to give it right over to him. I'm going to ask your name.
Okay.
Go ahead and tell everybody your name, how old you are, and where we live.
I'm Steven, and I live in California, and I'm 12 years old.
12 years old. That's right. And Steven, I'm going to let you talk. I would like to ask you, tell everybody, what is your favorite patch? Or he actually knew that I was going to ask this, and he picked out the ones that he loved, and it's not just one. So I'm just going to let him tell you guys exactly what he loves.
My patch I like is focus, peace, joy, liberty, victory, freedom.
He picked 3 favorite patches, which was pretty funny. Okay, so you want to tell everybody, why do you like these?
Because they work on me.
And what do they do? Like show them which ones you use and tell them a little bit.
I use the
The
victory.
victory. This is the victory, right?
Yes.
What does that one do to you?
Gives me energy for soccer.
Energy for soccer, you guys. And there's nothing more than Stephen loves
Yes.
than soccer. Okay, what's the next
I
one?
use focus for school.
Focus for
When I'm
school.
distracted, so I focus more.
Do you get distracted a lot?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
With this, not so much.
Nope.
That's awesome.
I use peace when I'm anxious.
Hmm. Is that has that always been an issue for
Yes.
you?
For school or when it's back to school.
Yeah.
Joy.
What about joy?
It makes me happy. Makes me think about joy.
Makes you happy. And liberty,
It makes me balance.
balanced. Okay. And
Freedom.
is this your favorite
Yes.
one? Okay.
Yes.
Do you want to let them know what happened last week to you?
Last week I got hurt and I hurt my tailbone. So I asked my mom if I can use freedom on my tailbone, and it helped.
Yeah, you guys, he came home, he fell during soccer. What is it, during soccer?
Yes.
During soccer. Darn that soccer. And he fell on his tailbone. And I mean, if you guys have ever done that, it really hurts a lot. And a second time too, and playing football. And he came home and said, I need that freedom patch. And then the one day that he did not have it on, he said how much it hurt without it on. So, Stephen, I just want you to tell everybody, you guys, this had nothing to do with me.
Nope.
Stephen, I let him know what I was going to ask him. I didn't tell him what to say or anything. I'd like you to tell them what you feel that the patches have done for you since you've begun on them.
when I first started it, I was nervous that what it would do to me. But when I put it on the first day, I felt better. I felt more calm and peace.
That's awesome. So you guys, Steven's got he's come a long way. If you guys knew him a year ago, you wouldn't even believe it was the same child. But even 3 months ago, the change in him is extraordinary. There are a lot of issues. If you guys had wanted, if you would want to write me, I can let you know what they are, but he's doing amazing. He's doing better in school. He's doing better overall. He has not had one outburst since we began on this. And for the people that know me, understand how big it is. And if you don't, let's just say that it is life-changing.
Yes.
Yeah. So thank you so much, you guys. Again, if you want to know what the issues were because you have, you want to see if it would work for you, then just let me know and I'll be glad to tell anybody offline. I will give it right back to you, Melissa. Thank you.
Hey, well,
Bye.
thank you. Okay, so I'm gonna pull on my friend Ashley now. That's okay. Yes. So, can I share a little bit of our story before we go?
Absolutely.
Is that okay?
I just want to say to Stephen, you did such a good job sharing. You did so awesome.
Yay.
You did.
Thank you.
So I'm going to share a little bit of our story because this might help people, and then I'll let Ashley kind of get into it. So Ashley and I have been working with her little guy, Nash, for quite a while. So when we started working with him, so I do bioresonance and frequency therapy. That's one of my main targets with little guys that have any type of sensory issue. And so we started working with Nash, and we started with frequency, and he really responded well to it. So we were seeing that his integumentary system, so his ability to handle stress and to be able to calm himself and self-regulate was just not there. And so in the classroom, it was tough for him. He was struggling with a lot of things. We started with frequency and it was really working. We specifically were doing frequency with him in his brain. And we found that when we targeted his brain, we were having this incredible success. So when I found out about Super Patch, I just had to tell her. So she was one of the very first people I called. I said, I feel like Nash needs this. Like, we need to try this on him. I feel like this is such an incredible tool. So she, of course, trusted me and listened, and she jumped on board. We started the patches on him, and the success that we have seen since he started wearing these patches is truly next level. So I don't want to take it all away from the mama. Nash is not obviously here because it's late, but I just want you guys to see that even from a practitioner, because I am a naturopath, and so he's one of my specific clients, and I have seen the most incredible things. And we've not only seen it behavior wise, but we've watched his body change. We've watched on my machine through my scans, we've watched his integumentary system, which is a system that kind of controls how we handle and regulate outside information. We've seen that regulate. We have seen, his ability to handle stress come down. We've seen that his anxiety levels have began to drop. So it's absolutely phenomenal. And now I just want her to share her incredible story with us.
All right, I'll just share a little picture if everyone can see. This is Nash, and he's 5.5. He'll be 6 in November, and we've just begun grade 1, which has been, it's been a little bit challenging, but having the patches have been so game-changing for him, especially for his anxiety. So I'll just give you a little insight of today. We had a big run at school, a big Terry Fox run. He had Liberty, Kick It, and Peace on. He had the most fantastic day. He participated in everything, no outbursts. And I went back in the afternoon to pick him up, and all the patches were off. Completely different child. So I just have to share, these work so phenomenal for him. He was not even able to pedal a bike last summer. And this summer we started the patches, I believe it was June, we started the patches. Within 2 weeks on these patches, Nash had taken his training wheels off, taught himself how to bike, which was game-changing for his proprioceptive because he needs to have his body moving all the time. He's just he's just a different child on these. They're so game changing for our household. School focus patch is number one. It's his all-time favorite patch that he asks for. He asks, just like Stephen, if he's hurt himself, he will come to me and ask for freedom. He's aware that these are working for him, and he's only 5.5. We are now handing these out to his friends at school, and the EAs are now asking me questions about what it is that we are using, which is, this is going to be so phenomenal for all of our kids. I wish I could shout this from the rooftops to everybody.
It's amazing.
It's
And
amazing.
Let's
And I'm
talk a
so
little bit
grateful.
about, sorry to interrupt you.
That's okay.
Let's talk a
I'm
little bit
saying,
about
I'm
his
so
language.
grateful that you shared these with us. I'm so grateful.
Yes. Let's talk a little bit about his language, because that's another thing we've seen, right?
Yeah, sorry.
Words have started to come.
That was the other thing. He was only doing kind of 2-3 words together. We are now having conversations. And that started within a few days of him wearing the patches. Even the boy that he plays with said something to me. Nash's talking is getting so good. So he had the ability to make a ton of friends this summer, something that he wasn't even able to do at the park last summer. He would go up to kids. He's very social, but he just loses them because he didn't have the conversation to do the conversations back and forth. And I have had, in 3 weeks, 4 birthday party invitations for this boy. He's just
We're going to do
doing
the
so
child's
incredible.
plate with the chicken and
So I just wish everybody would take the leap and try them. I promise you, you will not have any regrets, and your kids will start asking you for them. These are our go-to, our 4. Every single day he will ask me.
Let's talk a little bit about Kick It before. I just want to make sure we get all the, because this child is like, he's our favorite story. So he had a very serious sensory issue. Can we talk a little bit? Can you just tell us what his diagnosis is and kind of his main issues? Let's talk through that quick, and then share with us what Kick It has done, because it's phenomenal.
Yeah. So he actually, sorry, I get so nervous on these calls.
No, it's okay. That's why I'm here.
So he has ADHD, anxiety, and he's got a processing delay, which falls under autism level 2. So Kick It, another thing. So an oral sensory issue that he has, he is like, he plays with his tongue constantly and he gathers spit. When I put this patch on him, there was no repetitive behavior happening with him. This patch has been game changing. He was a nail biter. He would even bite his toenails because his anxiety was so bad. He has not been biting his nails and his toenails. We are having to cut them with the clippers. It's been like, there's so many things that this has benefited him with. I wish I could remember everything off the top of my head, but
yeah,
unbelievable. Unbelievable.
So proud of him. He is just, he's just amazing little guy, and he really has. He's come so far. Thank you so much for sharing. I know it's not easy to share in these calls when you're not used to it, and so, I mean, amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. Okay, Lorna, I would love for you to share with us quickly. If you, I don't see you, but can you unmute yourself and...
Hello?
Hi.
Hi. Sorry, am I interrupting?
Oh, do we have to mute you? Lorna, are you here? Lorna, my Lorna, is she here? I don't see her. Maybe she is not here.
I see her, but maybe she's...
I can't see her.
I typed her in the search. She's there.
Are you struggling to unmute, maybe?
There,
There you
finally.
go. And there you are.
My goodness, I couldn't get unmuted. Sorry, it took
That's
so long.
okay, I couldn't find you. Okay,
I'm just such a technological genius. What can I say?
we all are struggling. So Lorna's going to share a little bit about her grandson. and how the focus patch has been helping him. So Lorna, take it away.
Okay, so my grandson he's now 18 years old, and over the years he's had a lot of trouble focusing in school. He could never get his work done in the classroom if they gave the kids time to do it. He always had to bring it home and do it because he just couldn't stay on task, and he'd get distracted so easily. Many times over the years, he would go through periods where he wouldn't even get to school because he'd get halfway there and stop and have a picnic, or start kicking a ball, or run into a dog and just not go to school. And we wouldn't even know about this until report time came out, and he's got all these lates, and we're like, where do you go if you don't go to school? Oh, there's a nice little stump over, like we sit on, and his friend was doing it too. We sit down here and we have a picnic and all this. And so he's telling us all these things he does on the way to school. So it's always been a challenge for him. And very noticeable in high school. He just graduated, but it was so hard. If we could have had patches a few years ago, this would have been so much easier. And he just couldn't. Sometimes he couldn't even stay in the classroom. He's not diagnosed with anything, but probably ADD. And so when I got the patches, I asked him, I told him about the focus patch, and I said, this just helps you stay focused on what you're doing. Are you interested? And he goes, I have a lot of trouble with that. And I said, yeah, I do too. Oh, do you want to try this? Sure. So he put it on. We were just having coffee and watching the news. And in a half an hour, he goes, well, I have to go clean my room. I'm like, you do? Yeah. Well, usually when he would clean his room, it would be like work for half an hour and then play his guitar, work for half an hour, go outside, work for half an hour, talk to his friend. He stuck to it. He stayed on task. This was 9:00 in the morning. He finished at 4:00. He even vacuumed up the stairs and vacuumed the entryway. And I couldn't believe it. And then he played his guitar. And I was just like, wow. So the next day he comes and he says, hey, do you have any more of those yellow focus patches there? I'm like, yeah, I have a whole package. You want one? Sure. And the next day again. So I said, well, here, you can have your own pack. I gave him a few, I guess. I said, here's like 3 or 4 for the rest of the week. Well, then I was leaving for Regina for about a week. And he's like, you're leaving me some of those patches, aren't you? And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. He was, because they really worked. I'm like, yeah, I know, I've noticed. And he's been combining for a farmer. And I said, so have you run through any rocks or hit a skunk? He goes, nope, those focus patches, I just keep my eye on it and I can just stay concentrating on it, and they're great. And then this morning I was talking to somebody about the patches on the phone, and afterwards he goes, are you selling these things? And I said, well, it didn't start out that way, but every time that I'm talking to someone about it, they kind of want to buy them. And he goes, you just keep doing that because they'll really help people.
That's amazing.
So it's not like he's a little kid, but boy, if he'd have had these when he was a little kid, his life would have been so much simpler. And it is easier now with the patches. So I'm so happy that, he asks for them now. He asks me for a pain patch, but mostly I asked him, what's your favorite one? He goes, oh, the focus one is the best. So it's been great for him, and he's not a little kid, but too bad he didn't have it earlier on.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing with us. We live for these stories, as many, right? We all just every day we hear story after story about how these are impacting our children and our families. And it's just such an incredible tool. For those that are new to this call that maybe are wanting information, these are an ingredient-free, drug-free approach to wellness, and they put nothing inside of your body. What they do is they activate and help to kind of build and rewire those neural codes in our brain that we all have that our body should just optimally be using. So it's a really, really phenomenal way for us to help our little ones to just feel better. I mean, adults, right? Like, I can't imagine my life without them now, as many of you on this call can agree with me. They are absolutely phenomenal. And so we want to help parents have a safe and effective way to help their children. I have one more person to share tonight, and I don't see her again, but Davida, if you're here, can you unmute yourself and tell us your story about your boy?
Can I add something, Melissa, while Davita's coming in?
Mhm.
One thing I forgot to share, a big point, is Nash would never sit to play. He was a bouncer. He would bounce. He would bounce at the playground. He would bounce through the house. He is now sitting and doing Lego for, the other day, he was up there for over an hour building himself a little town. It's wonderful.
That's amazing. Okay, I don't think Davita's here, so that's okay. So we can, I just want to share a couple of things. Is there anyone else, Sigal, that you had sharing tonight? Okay, you have people?
I do not. She's not on here, but I actually have somebody that's on my team that she has a special needs child. I'll call him a child, but he's a little bit older. He does not speak. And before he began this, she was just like, I need help. I can't do it. You know, he would grunt and scream, and she said, just be hell, you know, like really hard. And so I had sent her a few just to try on him, because sometimes we don't know if these kids are going to keep them on, you know. So I said, you know, let me send a few. Before she even ran out of them, it was like day 3. She was like, oh my God, I've got to order them. It was so hard. She goes, and now he's just peaceful and calm. And you know what I want to tell everybody, sometimes it's so hard for us, because you know, when something works for us, we're like, yeah, it works, it's so great, and you know, and we just want to tell everybody. But these kids, that they don't lie. They don't lie. They, like, if you look fat, that they'll say, hey, you look fat. You know what I mean? Like, that's the way they are. They don't lie. They can't. And so it's just amazing to hear it from their mouths, or somebody like my friend's child who cannot speak, but he just completely calms down. It's so frustrating, maybe the word is, that you just want to scream it from the rooftops, and you want to tell everybody, listen to my child's testimonial. Now, people who knew my child, I have to tell you guys, I had an IEP meeting last week, and for those of us who have kids with these needs know what that is, and they looked at me and went, he's just been doing so much better. I was like, yes, yeah, it's because of the patches, you know. But it's so amazing to go in and to hear that from people who recognize, who see them every day, and who are like, wow, the difference. So, you know, don't listen to us, listen to the kids, or watch the kids, even if they can't speak. The change is like night and day. It's life-changing for them and for us.
It truly is amazing. Yeah, I just want to share a couple of things and then we can go. But yeah, so I have a few clients that couldn't come on tonight, but I want to share a couple of things that we've been seeing with this Kick It patch. I really want to talk about the Kick It patch for a second, because it's been absolutely phenomenal, some of the things I'm seeing. So it started for me this way. One day I was chopping vegetables, and I don't typically wear the Kick It patch. And I was chopping vegetables, and all of a sudden when I was chopping vegetables, I realized that my mind was really quiet. And I'm not someone that has a busy mind typically, or someone that would be on the ADD side. Like, I feel like I can focus really well. And I just realized at that moment that I had no thoughts, that I was not scattered. I wasn't thinking about getting my kids to bed, and I wasn't thinking about, you know, my clients and getting reports in. And I wasn't thinking anything. I was just really quiet. So I started telling some of my clients that I wanted to try this on their kids, because some kids, and screens and all the things we have going on, a lot of our kids have really busy minds. And some kids can't go to sleep at night. And actually what's going on, you guys, is that their minds are really, really busy. So I started really implementing this Kick It patch on a lot of my clients. And I cannot tell you some of the results that I am seeing. I am seeing kids are way more relaxed. I'm seeing kids are going to bed easier. I'm seeing that some self-stimulatory behavior like picking, even cutting. I have one girl, she cuts her skin every day. She's just very anxious, and that's what she does. And this Kick It patch is helping that. So we are seeing things where people have a lot of, OCD type things. We have kids that struggle with that, right? They can't calm down, or they have to be repetitive and do that. We're seeing a lot of breaking of that. So that is a patch that probably a lot of people don't think a lot about, and putting it on their little ones, because it's an addict, like it breaks patterns and it kind of gives back control. But I want to share with you that one of the things we are seeing, honestly, it's mind blowing. And so if you have any little ones that are kind of struggling with that repetitive behavior, I have a son who has dyslexia. He's 11, and words flip for him. It's been reading's been tough his whole life. And since we started Focus and Kick It, we're seeing two things. Focus has flipped the words for him, and so reading is coming easier. But I'm also seeing that negative self-talk around, I'm stupid, mom, I'm never going to get this right, is all gone. The Kick It patch has actually broken a lot of that negative patterns of thinking. And so if you have a negative child, one that's, down on themselves, maybe they've been bullied, maybe they have kind of negative strongholds around thoughts or thinking or what they look like, or right, even your teenage girls, are they having that pattern around maybe I'm fat, or right? We go through that as we come into our teenage years. This Kick It patch is absolutely phenomenal for that. So I wanted to bring that up. It's one that I have really started focusing on and talking a lot about. The Peace patch is phenomenal and it helps with so much. But this Kick It patch has just taken things to the next level for us. I have a client that has autism, a few other things. There's actually thoughts of schizophrenia type tendencies, a lot of trauma related stuff. We tried Focus and Peace. We only got so far. We added Peace and Kick It, and it changed the game for him. He's focused. He has calmed down. He's noticing, his mom's noticing a huge change into the way he's thinking, his thought patterns, the way he's reacting with other people. So this is all, I just wanted to really bring that out. This is a testimony after testimony that I am personally seeing with clients. So if you are, wanting a little bit of help with that, or if you have a question around the Kick It patch, please reach out to me. But this is one that I really am seeing, I think, more than I've ever seen before. So I want to thank you all for joining us tonight. I think it's so important that we let the kids talk, that we hear it from them, that we let our moms and, our family, like our parents, talk about what they're seeing, because these patches need to be in every parent's hand around the world. Like, we should be sharing with everyone. And get excited. If you are on this call and you have access to this technology, you are the luckiest human on earth. That is the truth. And we now have the ability to bring this, you guys, to the world. So if you are if you are here tonight and you have not tried the patches, please reach out to the person who invited you to this call, because you need them, your children need them. They are a safe alternative for you. And I promise that they are worth it. They are something that, I have only been here since April, and my practice will never be the same. I am using this in replacement of so many things now. And the client stories that I have, I have children that are getting away from walkers, that have severe gross motor issues that couldn't walk before, that are using Liberty and Victory. I have clients that were, little kids that had such gross motor issues, they couldn't climb up stairs. And we're putting the Victory patch on them. We're seeing them walk, one foot after the other without even thinking about it. The stories that I have come across in just my short time of being here, it's absolutely revolutionary. Hands down, the most incredible thing that Jay has given to us. So reach out to the person that invited you. Get excited about what you have in your hands. Share it with the world, because I promise when these kids experience what we have to offer, they will never be the same. It was so nice to meet you. Many of you I do not know. So yeah, again, so thankful that you joined us tonight. We love you all, and you guys have an awesome evening. We will meet again. Bye-bye.